Everybody, Scout Crafter here again. Got a real nice Keen Cutter plumbing wrench. Let's check it out. Okay, today's wrench is another Keen Cutter. You could see Keen Cutter, drop forged. This is a 10-inch model. You can see there's a 10. Now, I could tell right away, it looks like there's a little bow in that upper jaw piece. You see that? Now, I don't know how easy it's going to be to fix, but this is going to be a quick cleanup. We're not going to go crazy on this wrench, but obviously you could see here, because of this recess in here, perfect area for some paint. I mean, it would just highlight the wrench. I can't put any paint on here because there's no defining lines, and with this jaw going up and down, it's just going to scrape the paint off, and years from now it'll look like crap. So you got to think about that when you're starting. A little banging up here, you could see, and the rivet. This thing was meant to swivel. You can see it's got a spring here and spring here. Meant to swivel this whole piece. It's only one rivet holding it on, but it's meant to swivel like that to give it a better grip. Very popular in the 20s and 30s, these wrenches that had the swivel head. So let's take it apart and see what we're coming against. Here's where we stand on this wrench. You could see that just how much this is bent by me putting a straight edge up against this thing. So it does have a lot of the threads are worn. This thing had a lot of use to it. I don't know, this must have been in some plumber's bag or something, because this thing really was worn. You can see the rust, but it wasn't used as a hammer, thank goodness. You could see the rust spots and whatnot around the edges. Casting lines are pretty good. We don't have too much forging marks, but again, it was banged up here. That's probably from the pipe or whatever they put it on. You could see there's significant jaw damage here we can address. And remember what I was saying about there's always usually one jaw that has damage and one doesn't, and there's the one that doesn't, you know. So we'll work on that, and let's get started. Here's our post wire brush evaluation. The knurling came out very nice on this thumb wheel, so we're happy with that. We got to address the bend on this now, but we took off just a rust and scale. You could see there's quite a bit of wear on the, you could see here, quite a bit of wear on here, but we will address that. And again, we're going to put this in a vise. We're going to file these down, get the jaws nice again. And you see this here? It looks pretty bad, right? I mean, somebody obviously was banging this on here, so trying to get that off is going to be tough, but we were able to use, these things are great. Remember, always pick a few of these up. They're all over eBay and whatnot, these dental picks. There was a ton of grease and stuff inside, hardened grease, inside the lettering and everything. I was able to pick all that out of there with this, and then the wire brush did the rest, so it looks really nice, right? Okay, let's get over to the dake, our favorite place. Now, I know you're probably thinking, did he actually have wood under there? Well, that protects the threads. You could see we straightened it out now. It's nice and straight. But also, you can see what happens is after you press it down a little bit, it creates a pocket that'll hold it and from slipping and whatnot. A couple pieces of plywood, you can't use regular wood, you have to use plywood, but a couple pieces of plywood under the hydraulic press will stabilize it, compress it until it can't compress anymore, and then bend it. These were pretty malleable anyway, but you can see now it's perfectly straight, and that worked out real well. Now let's get to the polishing and sanding. Now, as always, you know my favorite part. This is what it looked like before we started. And we're calling this wrench done. Came out really nice. I went a little bit further than I expected on this one. But very happy with the way this came out. And you can see we got most of it down to a mirror finish, you know, all the chrome. Well, it's chrome-like now, but regular steel. And you can see over here the Keen Cutter. And we highlighted the letters here. Over here, the drop forged, the red paint in there. Over here, this is a swivel type wrench. I'll show you in a minute how that works and why this was a really prized tool for a lot of plumbers and things like that, because it gave you a little extra torque on whatever nut you're going to use. Straightened that out. Got the knurling real nice on here. Polished that out. Everything is really polished nice. It's just a, you know, the steel back then was always good. And over here, all them chips and everything, we ground them out. We got most of it out. You know, it looks presentable now. So let's see how this wrench works and why it was so, why especially this one was used so much. Now, what made these particular wrenches so desirable is you see that it has one pin here, and this whole thing swivels here. So when you torque down on something, instead of just using the jaw, the sliding jaw here to lock on, it would also, as you could see, what happens here is this whole mechanism will move and tighten up. You see the jaws closing? It'll tighten up on the bolt and making it less likely to slip. Here we have a bolt locked into the vise here, and you could see, watch here, and you could see it locks up and it'll get a really good grip on there. And you can have a variance of different sizes to get in, but you could see it, watch over here, it moves in and locks in and really gets a good grip onto whatever fastener that you're trying to loosen or tighten. And with all plumbing wrenches, you always use the force towards the jaw opening. You know, so if you were going to loosen, you would do it this way. Obviously, you're going to tighten, you would do it this way. But very interesting wrench, the way these were made. And this one came out real nice, real happy with it. Keen Kutter plumbing wrench. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.